Hello, this video is on 10-6. We skipped 10-5, and we're going to go over how to use the quadratic formula to solve quadratic equations. So the quadratic formula is down here. It's x equals negative b plus or minus the square root of b squared minus 4ac all over 2a. What this does is it gives you the answer to yesterday's homework by using this formula. Some people like to use this formula for everything, and you can do that as long as you are in standard form. So you have to have everything on one side equal to 0, and you're going to figure out what a, b, and c are. So if we look at this question here, everything is not on one side. So we do have to move things around first before we can use the quadratic equation, or the quadratic formula. So this is a quadratic equation because x squared is the highest power. And we're going to use the quadratic formula to find the answer for x. So yesterday we factored it and found the answer. Today we're going to use the quadratic formula. So you could factor this one. Factors of 2 that add up to 3, and the answer is going to be -1 and -2. However, they're going to show you how to use the quadratic formula on this one. So we're going to bring this -3x over by adding 3x to both sides, and now you have a quadratic equation in standard form. The noise in the background is London playing with things. X squared plus London. She's playing with the little board thing. The quadratic formula is, the quadratic equation we're going to solve is right here. So we're going to figure out what a, b, and c are. And they tell you right here, a is 1. That's the 1 out in front of x squared. B is 3, and c is 2. So what you do is you put it in this formula. Negative b, which is 3, plus or minus the square root of 3 squared, b squared, which is 3 squared, minus 4 times a, which is 1, times c, which is 2, all over 2 times 1, which is 2a. Now to solve this, you're going to do the math inside here first. So they square the 3 and get 9. Then they minus 4 times 1 times 2, which is 8. And that gives you the 1. That's where you see this 1 right here. And now, because of this plus or minus sign, you're going to get two answers. You're going to get -3 plus the square root of 1, which is plus 1, or -3 minus the square root of 1, which is minus 1. And they're both over 2. So if we do the math here, -3 plus 1 is -2 divided by 2, and that's where they get the -1. Over here you get -3 minus 1, which is -4, divided by 2, and that's where they get the -2. And then they check their answer by putting the x back into the original equation. So they check for -1, they plug it in, they get 0, and they check for -2, plug it in, and get 0. So you can try these questions out here. Again, figure out what a, b, and c are. Here a is 1, b is -2, c is -8, and see if you can get these answers using the quadratic formula. Over here you got to bring the 117 over, so c is going to be -117. So try those out. You can also look at this question here, which they set up for you, and they use the quadratic formula also here. And the work is done here. You can look at this, and they get 1.6. They throw out the negative answer here because you want to have seconds are positive. And then down here it says choose appropriate method to solve this. When you have something like this and requires the long method, can't be factored easily, you're going to use the quadratic formula. Something like this, you could just use square roots. Here you can factor it, or you can use the quadratic formula on any one of these. And get an answer. So, but there's easier ways to do it, so that's why they say try using square roots or factoring. Okay, hopefully this helps. It's just a matter of using the formula and understanding it and applying it. So hopefully this will help you to do your 10-6 homework on Schoology. This will all be on the quiz on Friday. God bless you. Have a great day.